Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Have you received a letter from the city of Fargo lately? What it says is leading to more confusion surrounding changes to the city's special assessments policy.
Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall talked to the experts about what property owners can expect and who could get refunds.
Bob Whitman moved to North Fargo at the end of 2015. A few months after settling in, he was hit with an unwelcome surprise from the city.
I wasn't very happy living here for a few months, and then all of a sudden I get a special assessment saying I can pay it all up front or pay interest on it over 25 years.
His special assessments bill came out to about $1,900.
I put a pretty big down payment down on the house, and so yeah, that pretty much was cash strapped.
But thanks to a change from the city, Whitman says his specials bill is a more manageable $900.
It's $1,000 less. I will probably choose the option to pay up front.
What City Commission approved was reverting back to that old policy as an interim until we can figure out how we want to move forward for sure.
The change in Whitman's bill comes from a city council decision to go back to a 2013 policy, which changes the current 50-50 split to 70-30. But caps and fine print in the policy means not all homeowners will be as lucky as Whitman.
The new development has always been 100% special assessed. So any of those utilities or streets or street lights, all those things are going into a new development. The previous policy called it out as 100% special assessed. And then the revised policy at the end of 2015 was 100% special assessed.
This reality has City Commissioner Tony Gehrig pushing back. He says the vote didn't fix anything and in many cases made it worse. Specials need to end. But for property owners like Whitman, some relief is better than none.
I guess I'd always wish for more, but someone's got to pay for it.
In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
Who qualifies for a break? Keep an eye on your mailbox. A letter should be arriving shortly if it hasn't already. You can also go to valleynewslive.com for more information.
Federal prosecutors have filed murder charges in the death of a Minnesota woman. Court documents show that 38-year-old Billy Joe Herman is charged with felony murder, kidnapping, and assault with intent to commit murder in connection with the October 2015 death of 36-year-old Amanda Engst, who was originally from Breckenridge. Her body was found in February 2016 in the Cheyenne River south of Warwick. Authorities say Engst was strangled and beaten to death. Herman's wife, Crystal Herman, pleaded guilty after she was charged as an accomplice in Engst's death. She has been sentenced to 20 years in prison.
An area surrounding a farmstead in Clay County continues to be blocked off as authorities look for a missing person from Wahpeton. The area blocked off is around 70th Avenue North near Hitterdal, Minnesota. The last person living at that address is 39-year-old Jason Jensen, who has a lengthy criminal record including drunk driving, domestic assault, and abuse convictions. We've been told that no arrests have been made, but the Clay County Jail is listing a Jane Doe who was booked last night on sudden death body found charges, and a John Doe was booked early this morning on search warrant charges. Authorities say there's no expected danger to the public.
We now know the name of the bicyclist killed after colliding with an SUV north of Fargo. Authorities say that Kathy Hettenbaugh was the victim of the fatal crash. A brief obituary for her has been posted on the website of West Funeral Home. The 56-year-old died at the scene from injuries she suffered along Cass County Road 20. The driver of the SUV was 31-year-old James Austin of Fargo. Authorities say he was traveling east behind the bicycle before hitting it. The crash is still under investigation.
Outside, we're still on the warm side, even at this hour. And with the next few days looking hot, we're wondering if we'll also see any rain. Hutch, how's it looking for our overnight hours?
Well, any showers that developed earlier in the evening starting to basically dry up as we head into the overnight hours. We still have a fair amount of cloud cover across the valley. Temperatures still not far from 80 here in Fargo, 68 in Baudette and a degree better in Bemidji this hour. As we head through the overnight hours, we'll see temperatures slip into the mid-60s south, low 60s generally off to the north and east. A few clouds will still be with us. Our shower chances, yes, they do return. I'll have details on when we're expecting those as we glide to our first weekend of summer here in just a few moments.
That sounds good.
It does.
Thanks.
A 2-month-old girl is on life support at Sanford Hospital in Fargo. Authorities were called last night to a home in Red Lake Falls because the baby was not breathing. The child was being cared for by a relative since the mother of the girl is being held at the Minnesota Correctional Facility in Shakopee, Minnesota. No criminal charges have been filed. No arrests have been made at this time.
An 8-year-old girl remains hospitalized tonight after being mauled by a neighbor's dog in Dilworth last night. Her parents say the girl was swimming at the neighbor's house when she tried to hug the dog goodbye. It attacked. The dog will remain quarantined for the next 10 days because it was not up to date on its rabies shots. Experts that we talked with say body language is a big thing when approaching a dog. You should back off if the dog is crouched, has their ears back, or is wagging its tail. They also warn that you can never know a dog too well and that parents need to teach their kids to ask if they can approach the dog and if they can pet it.
If they say no, that needs to be taught as well, that don't feel bad, don't cry, or, it's not a bad thing that the owner said, no, you can't pet my dog. It's just for the safety of everyone.
Experts also advise dog owners to talk with neighbors about the animal's behaviors. To see the full story, go to valleynewslive.com.
And after those images of the young girl surfaced, many turned to social media, voicing their concerns. Some were quick to defend the dog, and others said the dog should instantly be put down.
Valley News Team's Joseph Ojo caught up with dog owners who say in certain dog biting cases, both the victim and owner should be held accountable.
Several dog owners we talked with today say that the minute there is an attack involving a dog and a child, people online will quickly blame the animal and say the dog needs to be put down.
I think there's obviously that emotional response right off the bat, and it's quick to point the finger towards whoever caused that damage, aka the dog.
And the pointing of fingers is what dog owners like Josh Ramberg says is not helping cut down the number of incidents where a dog attacks a child.
So I think it's more a matter of educating the community about how to safely approach strange dogs and when to call proper authorities if there's a dog off the leash.
Ramberg says, while it is the responsibility of an owner to keep an eye on their dog at all times, things do happen. He goes on to say that simple training and practicing caution are some of the best ways to approach a dog.
To realize that it's not a human being, it can't react the way humans can interact with each other.
Owners like Sarah Smith says, anytime a kid is around a dog, the owner should be very careful. She tells us she personally has both the dog and the child stop before approaching each other, and that she focuses the attention of her dog towards her because the dog trusts her.
Then I always make my dog sit. That way she's not caught off guard or startled. She faces them and she knows that they're coming to pet her.
While many comments call for the dog involved in an incident in Dilworth to be put down, many of the dog owners we spoke with feel both sides need to start taking responsibility and that no breed is bad.
And I'll always be the advocate of the dogs. No dog's bad until an owner makes it that way.
In Fargo, Joseph Ojo, Valley News Live.
The Dilworth girl's family says she's still recovering but should be discharged from the hospital tomorrow. Experts also want to remind you to keep up to date with the rabies shots, saying your pet should receive one every 3 years.
Certain summer toys and products are considered dangerous for kids, according to a consumer watchdog group. See what's on that top 10 list. Still to come.
Up next, KFC is jumping on the pickle juice bandwagon, the concoction it's now offering diners.